Welcome back. We are going to start on part 2 of this build, start working on the cabinets and see how far we get. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're working on the cabinets, as I said, and I'm trying to reuse as much wood as I possibly can to save as much money and make this a cheap build as possible. Right here I'm just putting in some of the support for the face of the cabinets, and then this wood right here is what I'm going to use for my face frame. Bought it at Home Depot. It's 3/4 of an inch thick and 2 3/4 of an inch wide. So I think it's called a 1x3, and they worked perfectly. Although Home Depot did have the worst wood I've ever come across, so it did take a minute to find a few straight ones, but overall everything went good. I'm just nailing it in to try and keep the holes and not use screws so that it's easy to cover up and paint. The blocking in the back is just going to hold the butcher block countertop, and then a lot of people who build trailer cabinets don't do a toe kick. That to me was important, to have a toe kick. That way you can stand up close to the cabinets and actually use the sink and other things in the kitchen. But overall it turned out really well. Just took a minute to get everything level and straight and really design how I wanted it. Here I'm just putting on the sides, as you can see, and then it took a little bit to measure out exactly where I wanted everything so that my fridge fit nice and snug in the middle, but also had enough breathing room. So we will have quite large cabinets on the left and right side. Like I said in the previous video, the right side will be for the power bank, so that needed to be a certain size so that the power bank and the extender could fit, but I also wanted the fridge to fit nice and snug inside without any big gaps on either side of the fridge. And then here I'm just nailing in the fake drawers I'm going to put on both sides, and then cleaning up all the foam. So when I insulated this, it was so dirty and the foam was everywhere, so it was nice to get everything cleaned up. And then to add a little bit of extra insulation, I also put the foam spray in all the cracks. And then now I needed to start on the top cabinet. So we're gonna have a microwave and then some storage on each side of the microwave. These went really well. It's a little bit more challenging. That top bar is kind of at a 45-degree angle, and that's where I ran all my wires. So I did need to slot out a spot for the wires, but overall it went pretty quickly and straightforward. So really happy with how this all turned out, and excited to build the cabinet doors for all these things in the next video. But again, lots of measuring, lots of making sure everything was square and set up exactly how we're gonna want it, and getting it to be strong and stout. That way when you're towing it down the road, nothing falls apart or cracks. You're not gonna see it in this video, but I did add some plating and screws to all of the junctions where the wood was just nailed together, just to add some extra strength, like I said, to keep it all stout and strong as you're towing down the road and this bumps over bumps and flexes and moves. Here I am putting in the bottom of the shelving above, again just using some particle board that we pulled off of the walls and cut to make sure that it fit. It'll all get painted and look nice and you won't ever be able to tell, but just trying to save as much money as we possibly can. Here I am cutting the walls for between the storage and the microwave. I've already installed the ones for the fridge down below. This was a little bit tricky with the front being a V-nose, but overall happy with how it turned out, and I was able to nail everything in so that it was strong enough, and I'm confident that it'll be good enough to, get towed down the road and hold together. Overall happy with how it turned out, and then I'm going to put this 15-gallon water tank in the nose and make sure it's strapped down so it doesn't move going down the road. Okay, let me give you a quick tour. A few things have changed since the last video or part 1. We were going to have a bathroom that came out to about here. We've decided to move that outside and get a awning cover, and we're going to put a water tank up top so there's a shower and we'll have a self-enclosed bathroom. That way none of the stink or smell is in the trailer. We won't have to wire up this fan, but we'll have an extra wire there for a fan or a heater. But what we've got is we'll have our sink here and then storage underneath the sink. We'll have our water tank back there, as you can see, and there'll be a water pump and it'll pump all the way to the sink. And then we'll have the fridge in front of the water tank. And then our power bank will be down under here. These are just going to be false drawers just because of the V-nose. It'll be hard to make drawers. And you won't have a lot of storage in them anyways, because there's really only about 11 to 12 inches here. Then you'll have some storage up on this side, so 2 cabinets that open up here, microwave, and then some more storage up here. We are debating on putting storage above the windows, so the top of the window is about here. So we could get some small storage in there. We probably wouldn't be able to use this 2.5 inch face trim, but we could do something else or buy something that's already made and mount it. We're gonna put the TV here. I picked up the TV today. It was just an extra one we had, and it's probably gonna be too big. It's probably gonna hang over the window. So I've got to decide, you know, what I want to do there, if I'm okay with it hanging over the window. I don't want to put it on this wall, just because then you have a TV hanging off the wall, and if you're trying to do anything with the sink, you don't have a lot of room, whereas you still have plenty of countertop and a door here. So we'll see. I got to bring it in here, hold it up, see what it looks like. But that's kind of the new layout. We're still going to do a bed that folds up here and a bed that goes up there, windows, table, and then the back will fold down into a deck. But we're getting there. I think the next thing is going to be cabinets, but I'm deciding if I'm going to make the cabinet doors myself. But we do have all the shelving in here and the partitions for everything. So everything's pretty much done. It's just going to need cabinet doors made and just some paint and prep and stuff like that. But overall, cabinets are done. We just need to make the cabinet doors, get the hinges that we want so that everything latches, and then from there, it's going to be flooring, walls, electrical, and finish it up. So, thanks for watching.